legend. I was study her legend about Sami. Where it's a great privilege. And you mean ebedi and komo ejumadi esu Joseph Kenkon Agbeko. Joseph Kenkon Agbeko. Abe kayensa ejumadi esu anu ebedi komo briefly. We are near Samba Black Stars in Seminole as well. Legend, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Macho anapebi abako de.
Nyamiadum.
Na Ghana for watch we to nkache.
Easy. They want asie kakra.
And I suppose me and sa e my ni je okruma pa boxing football. And they wo hwe TV na hwe a to say. And now we push actually be boxing. Football.
Oh, football.
Black Stars and game.
Me shakra me pet football. I used to like football, but do baby me who say baby I'm free no Ghana almost supported boxing, which is the government. I totally lost the interest for football because Omodi share football. And I think say boxing is the number one sport in Ghana.
Yeah.
Football is a most loved sport for everyone.
Yeah.
But when it comes to achievement, Ghana boxing has done everything so much for Ghana that football has not reached the bar. Omudi bibia ma football into because of that. I don't want to be added to the supporters of football just only because of that.
And the Ebra Obre won't come be.
The family qualify. No, to be honest, sometimes new Black Star now, I'm a passionate Ghanaian.
You love the country.
I put my life on the line for the country. But because of the attitude and character of our leaders, sometimes when I'm watching Black Star play, sometimes I wish them to lose.
Really?
Oh, no. I'm being honest. Sometimes I wish that... Sometimes I support the team, but as the team is progressing to maybe winning, then I feel like, no, when they win this game, it's going to make the government give them more money. So that they will not look at us cry because they will think that, okay, our football is doing well. So sometimes I wish them to lose only because they are not supporting my sport.
Ooh.
Yeah, they have to support boxing. Boxing has done a lot. Leaders, even with Blaster match and run, it was a still decision of the leaders is taking us backwards. Yeah,
everything's about leadership.
Yeah,
everything's about leadership. Interesting. And this are for being correct.
Oh no.
For various reasons.
No, my reason it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
If you support my sport, I will love the one you are supporting. There be on say, you see, boxing is equally tough as the streets, if not more. So if we are supporting boxing, we are directly giving back to the society through boxing. There's a lot of boxers, a lot of more streets. Like let's go into boxing. You see the heart that we use to stand in the ring. People will use that heart to commit crime, to go for robbery, to do raping and everything because armed robbers go to robbing, knowing that they have the gun, they can even defend themselves, and they go and they do it safely. But boxing, when you are entering into the ring, you know that your life is not in your hands. You may not come out again, or you may not come out healthy. Even on your easy day, you still see blood. It is such a sport. We are giving it our all for the country. We are putting our life on the line. And if you cannot support us, and you are supporting a sport that I can just go... every evening to go and play and have fun with it because it's fun to do. It's not tough and hard to do. And we have chosen the tough and the ugly sport. And we are doing so much that makes us deserve the support of Ghana. And you are not giving it to us. It's fair to hate every sport that you are supporting. You know?
The noble act of self-defense.
Yeah.
And boxing. But how dangerous is boxing?
To me, I think boxing is the most dangerous sport in the world. Every career or every thing is dangerous, but I think boxing is the most dangerous. Even UFC and the rest, they are not dangerous like boxing because you just get there, boom, 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 boom. The person cannot do anything, they stop it. But with boxing, if you are going 12 rounds, somebody like Ikwate, he can just be jabbing your forehead from one round to last round. And
your forehead?
And you feel okay that you are taking a jab on your forehead, but at the end of the fight, as time goes on, you have an effect on your head. It can affect your brain. It's like the toughest sport ever. So if the young guys are taking the risk, putting themselves on the line because of career wise, because of passion wise, and then they don't want to go robbing, they don't want to commit any crime, and they choose that sport, and the country is not supporting it, that means that we want to have a lot of armed robbers on the streets.
That's very true. That's very true. That is very, very true. But personally, how did you get into boxing?
I got into boxing because boxing chose me. I say this all the time. My dad gave me a name called King Kong.
The name came from your dad?
Yeah, it's my birth name.
King Kong?
Yeah. It's my birth name. It's my real name.
So it's not your boxing name?
No. It's my real name.
This is news to me.
Yeah, so through the name, I found myself in boxing. And as I entered into boxing, I can see how the name was actually impacting. So I think boxing chose me.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was how I found myself in the sport.
Wow.
And it didn't let me down too.
So you don't have any regrets?
No. You see, in this life, I believe that everything that happens in your life is planned to happen. Sometimes people can make mistakes and so on, but regret should be lessons. You know, regret should be lessons, because if you can have something that you regret and then you still have life and there's time ahead of you, then that thing you call regret should be a lesson that can make you better tomorrow.
Ebi say box ebi a sports bi omo ye bi treat omo ye over boxing now and treat you in terms of finances, in terms of even life after boxing.
Meka say boxing is a sport I've loved passionately with everything in me, but I would say that the sport has not treated me fairly. One sector is Ghanaians, and the other sector is the sport itself in general. It didn't give me what I gave to it. That is how I'll put it. You give and you get in return, and I don't think the sport has served me as I've served it, but I'm still serving it.
Obeka say, baby of it, and in football, there's something that Abe accepted. You can say your passport determines even the club you play for, or with the value of transfer. You're to a Ghanaian player, so comparatively, someone who is of the same quality in maybe South America, the value is a bit different. Because maybe also boxing, maybe I will feel so affected how the sport sees you.
I will not say that. I feel maybe that is my destiny. After when I started boxing, after I met people like Thomas Okai, Nia Ibunte, formerly known as Thomas Okai, and Freddie Anna from base management in the UK. I've not really had any proper person in my team going up from there, you know. So I've never really had a team that is a team for me, except from a team being a team for themselves, but not for me. You know, when you have, even though it's a sport that you only stand in the ring to fight, you fight for some people. You fight because others will get checked from you. You fight because you also, but I've had people around me that they were just there because
of all they will get.
Yeah, but I've had few genuine people. Most importantly, boxing, the most important person you have on your team is your coach. Apart from the coach, the rest, they are not your team. You know, because the coach takes all the insult and everything that comes, they take it with you, so they are always with you together. But the rest, you know, so I've not had proper teams. So, and I wouldn't say those people came into my life at the right time that they're supposed to be in my life. So I think it's just my destiny.
Let me ask you a question. So, fight being your career is the most difficult for you. It could be a win. I bet you they'll win. I bet you they'll lose. Okay. Fight man who said, my body me yapa.
You know, Sabiko Kwon, as a boxer, who are ring more, you don't really focus on the pain.
Yeah.
It doesn't really flash in your head. Sometimes you just get some hard punch and then quickly you forget about it because all your focus is on how to win, especially when you're coming from a country like Ghana, once you get into trouble or once they are punching you and you can feel it, you don't think about the pain. You think about what Ghanaians will say if you go down. And so I can't really point fingers at the fight that I would say I went through tough time, but I can talk about 2 fights that I think they were tough fights for me. One has to do with Johnny Perez. Johnny Perez, my second fight with him. The first fight I lost, which wasn't like lost, but it was a loss. I lost my first fight. The second fight, going into that fight was very tough for me because watching the first fight, I couldn't know what I would do to win the second fight, because when I look at him physically and everything, he's too durable. When everything was good on his side, so I was asking myself, what else can I do to make a whole change of this? So I don't even watch the fight. I don't watch it at all. Through my training camp, I wasn't watching the fight, but there was one time I said, okay, today let me watch a bit. So I went on YouTube and then I was watching like few minutes, and then I saw a part where he was attacking me. So I was going backwards, and then when I was going backwards, I realized that I was actually looking good as he was attacking me. So I said no. Then I paused the video. Then I said no. This is what I'm going to work on. I'm not, because during our training camp, the strategy was to attack him. So that was the strategy. So to punches everywhere, even when we go to other places, every coach that comes close to us, everyone gives the advice of attacking. So when I saw that, I said no. So I'm going to work on this. So I continue the strategy with attacking throughout the whole training camp. But during the fight night, before I would go into the ring, I spoke to my team, my trainers, my head coach, and the rest, and I told them that, you know something, I want you to spare me 1 round. I want to be myself for 1 round, and then after that, you can take over. So the first round, I went in to be myself of what I see during watching the fight. So when I started with it, the first round, it went good. Second one went good, and then the coach said, no, don't change it. Let's just go. So I went throughout like that to finish the fight. So it was a fight that I would say was tough for me before going into the ring. But when I entered, it was easy for me. The second one that I would say...
And you said, video killing, the inspiration of that fight came from that short...
One said boxing. Boxing is just like a life that we live. Obibeka say, Floyd say, it's a chess game. You know, we have more of mind job than the physical. If I didn't see that, I'm not sure I would be able to win that fight, because I will continue with the same our game plan. And I don't. The guy is a former military guy who is very disciplined. So when it comes to training, his discipline level is high. So minimum anything I will use against him in there, unless I come with skill. And that was where I realized that, okay, I can use skill to beat him. So
and that skill, that defensive posture.
I say, we are boxer. Mr. Ko now can be a lot of things about boxing, and I can tell that he is a very boxing person. We are boxer. Before you jab, you have to have a reason for jabbing. Before you say, okay, let me go forward or let me come backwards, there has to be a reason. If there's no reason, they will knock you out. So before you do one thing, you have thought of, there's so many things that will happen after the first thing you are coming to do. You have to think about the implications that come with it. Either if I do this, if it's going to counter me, or if this one, you have to do long thinking. So every time the thinking is ahead. So you win fights with your brain, not with your physical ability. The physical ability has to be there because both of you has prepared 100%. But now the brain is the one that has to win the fight.
Wow. Yeah, I suppose you heard
easy.
So a lot of thinking.
I more than I said. That is why coaches need Jumapa, because when they are behind her, who be out in the ring, until they are able to determine for you, to think for you that do this, because they can see more than you can see. But as you are there, you will not miss a second of not thinking. Yeah. Because yes, slow, the attack is on you. You go. It's every you don't want to miss. It's a sports. Unim say it's once you enter, it's 24/7. You have to be on your toe until you hear the final bell. Then you know that asan baby away. But and yes, your brain has to work every second.
You say boxing what dark arts. Nneɛma wɔ mu paa ebetumi drogu gamu ebetumi wia gam ebetumi say nneɛma bebree. Did you experience that darkness in boxing no?
Make us say on a honest note, make us say boxing is the most corrupted sport in the world.
Wow.
That is what I'll say. The most corrupted sport. I don't know what's happening in other sports, but boxing is very corrupt. It's very corrupted, and we are, instead of making it better, places like Ghana, where I come from, where I stand for, we are also adding more into our corrupting or corruption. This thing. Boxing is very corrupt. I was supposed to fight 2021 or something, December, for the world title in Dubai. Then now, before me, a number one contender for WBO, I fought to get there. And they weren't giving me the opportunity to fight for the title for various reasons. Sometimes some people will say, oh, why this, but when somebody is deserving, you can't hold the person back. You know, opportunities were not coming and people were not fighting. I've had a lot of interviews, I've spoken about it. Nothing was happening. So I was given a fight to fight somebody in the UK. He was number 2. I was number 1 contender. And then there was a game played around that particular fight too. And the time I got the notice and stuff for the fight, it was 3 weeks notice. I wasn't sure I can make it. And if Seminkua, I'll get punished for that. So I have to take the fight. I took the fight. And during that time, it was coronavirus time. Until you call embassy for the visas. Visas name, but even when the day of the fight, even on the day of the fight, we hadn't even gotten a notice from the British embassy saying we've received your documents. You know, so there was no way I was going to be able to fight. So during the fight week, on a Tuesday or something, I sent a letter to the Ghana Boxing Authority, to the British Boxing Board of Control, and then to the WBO, that these are the situations. So there's no way the fight can be, because even if you give me visa today, on Tuesday, that means I have to leave Tuesday evening, getting to UK on Wednesday, doing my medicals and everything. I won't be able to perform. I won't be able, but even on that, it didn't even come. And then they gave the guy a different opponent to fight. And then after the fight, he got a point. So they put him on number 1, and I was number 2. Then there was this guy who was the champion. He was my friend. We've been together in the same gym for some time. He's a Filipino, very tough boxer. He beat this guy, Duke Micah, for the title. So he was the champion. So now the British guy who has become number 1 now has to go and fight the champion. Either me and him fight for eliminator, or he fights the decimal. So they made it easy for him because he's not a Ghanaian, for him to go and fight for the championship. But unknowingly, he knows he's not fighting the champion. I'm just exposing some of how the sport is corrupt, you know, because if we don't speak about it to make it better, you know, when you treat a boxer unfairly, it takes away a lot of things from him, because it's a tough sport, you know. So they made him to know that he's fighting me, he's not fighting the champion, because the promoter who was promoting the fight has already signed the champion, and they are making another opportunity for him, which may be better than, because he wants to move up in weight. So they are preparing something for him up in weight, so he can leave the title for the new boy that they've signed. And that British boxer too, he has been in the sport for some time, and he wants to end his career with a world title. So they are doing everything possible for him to become a champion. So the guy is not fighting, and then they are giving the fight for me to fight. There was a Ghanaian promoter who they went through to talk to me about the fight. So he did the first thing with me, how he told me, there's a fight, this and then you put you on a hold. And then by the time the actual paperwork will come, the fight is closed. So if you need money, you leave, you go and fight.
Yeah.
So that was what happened to me the first time. So I couldn't take the first UK fight. So this one, I was there, and then a white person, you see, a white person, a foreigner, South African, he called me and he said, Joseph, I have a fight for you. And it's the same fight that the Ghanaian has told me, and then he has gone to perch and wait until the time is closed before he will come to me with paperwork so that I can lose. So he said, I have a fight for you, but I believe you can beat this boy. So I want us to make money. Take this fight. Let's sign contracts. The fight is on. No, don't train. Prepare for this fight. Don't post picture anywhere. Don't do anything anywhere, because these people doesn't want you to train. They want you to come and fight and lose. So this is a white man doing me such a beautiful favor instead of a black man. So I signed a contract and I was happy. And I also want to end my career with a world title. So I started working very, very hard. You know, about 2 weeks before the fight, because I haven't lost weight in some time. When I started my weight loss, I fell sick. So since then, I have not been well to the fight. But I said, no, it is for me, because the fight was supposed to happen on December 11th. And I fought twice on that date, and I always win. So I knew it's a good day for me. So I prepared. We went there. I was sick, but I was still doing everything. But when we got into the weigh-in, my attitude, my everything, when they saw it, they realized that, no, this boy is prepared. So they got confused, because, you know, there are people in Ghana who takes boxers from Ghana just to go and lose.
Yes. Journeymen, they take journeymen. They'll beat them, make some money.
Most of them are not journeymen. They are boxers who can also become somebody for their family, who can also become champions for Ghana. But because the boxers are on some level, some need international exposure. Some need the money. So they take you there just for you to go and lose. So when they saw me, they realized that this guy is not one of them who has come to lose, because when the weight is not correct, we want to make sure the guy is on weight. We want to make sure everything is good. So they know that these people are not coming to lose. So on the following day for the weigh-in, we were expecting a lot of things to be done before the fight. The gloves checking and all. They were not doing all those things. So I asked for it. So they knew I know all those things. So when I asked for it, they called us to come for it. But when they called us, we went there. The WBO officials and stuff, they were having a meeting with my opponent and his team. So we don't understand what is going on, you know. So happily, I went and did I was supposed to do it a day before. They didn't make us do any of those things, because I know those things. So when I asked, we did it there. And then they were looking at us. We finished everything. We went thinking I have a fight in the evening. In the evening, after I've just shaved my hair and my beard and everything, because I want to look different. I don't want people to recognize me. So I've done Sakura and everything so that I can just shock Ghanaians. Like 2 hours before the fight, and then we just got a call. The guy said he's not fighting anymore. You are getting the easy opponent, the cheap opponent, because the other one, don't try him. He'll kill you. The one you are getting is cheap, it's easy, and you don't want to fight, you know. So later we got to know that it's because they got scared, and they did. So you see how they have to manipulate the system for the whole world to believe that this guy is fighting this guy, but knowing that it's not like that. I didn't sign contract for that, so I can speak about it, because I didn't sign contract to keep that secret for them. Do you get me? So I'm not under any contract. So I knew that the guy will come to the fight. He'll have a problem. He will come for win. He will get a problem, and then because of the problem, he will not be able to perform to take the fight. I knew all those things before, and then it happened. So boxing is too corrupt. You know, we have to make it better.
We are very interesting. Mene King Kong Agbeko, Joseph King Kong Agbeko, and Eddie in Komono, a former world champion, one of many former world champions. He was a guy that they banned boxing. And he's done extremely well for himself and for this country. When you say Bibi Basso, then Basso, Bobin Kongo.
Nyami Chemi Bibi, boxing. That is the only thing I know how to do. I didn't stay long in the classroom. And I didn't practice other different
craft and education.
And boxing is all I know. So if you have a gift, it is not for you alone. You also have to share it to others. So on the 8th of November, I'll be having a Joseph Agbeko fight night.
Okay.
At the in the Eastern region, Kitasi, very close to Peduasi. It's Kitasi Peduasi.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a juvenile, amateur, and professional boxing. Yeah. It is a platform for the younger generation for them to be able to showcase their gifts, and then for the Joseph Agbeko Foundation also to see how, if we all come through the tough way to get to the top, it should be, once we know the route to the top, we should also impact the younger ones so that the road will be a little easier for them than us. Yeah.
They'll learn your mistakes and become better versions of themselves.
And I would like to say a very, very big thank you to Game TV.
Okay.
Game TV is in partnership with Joseph Agbeko Foundation to make sure we have a successful event.
And in Kolano, Afinom some boxing, and say you've identified some in Kolano did that and on platform.
Well, also, time I made a boxer as a juvenile boxer, meaning microphobia na eshas.
Yeah.
Me ba amateur boxing too. I met a group of team before we turned professional, and from the juvenile, I came to meet a lot of very good boxers, and most of them are better than me, the same as amateur. But luckily for me, I was able to meet somebody like Nia Ibunte the second, and a few people who are able to guide me for me to be able to become a champion. Until these are boxers who are already boxers, but I want to identify that thing that some of my colleagues had and they couldn't become a champion, so that when I see those things, those qualities in them, I can also use my influence to make sure they are able to achieve their dream into full potential.
Fantastic. You're giving back to the sport that gave you so much. Really, a brilliant initiative for Happy FM. Thank you. Are you fighting on the night?
No. Initially, I wanted to have an exhibition fight on the night, but I launched this event 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
And I couldn't do it last year. I wanted to do it last year in Sokakope, but because of the water, the spillage, so I couldn't do it. So this time is the first proper one I'm doing, and I think there will be more pressure on my head. So I'm sure next year
organizing it and promoting it.
Yes,
problem.
I'm sure next year I'll fight on it.
Who couldn't say there? Are you getting to promotions?
Joseph Agbeko started promotion long time ago.
Okay.
Ikote has been one big promoter for Ghana during his days. I've promoted myself a few times. Until automatically I'm more like a manager, promoter, and so on.
So is it the fight night? Is it open to the general public? Or be able to baby?
Yeah, it's a free event.
Free event.
Yeah, it's being promoted by the Joseph Agbeko Foundation and Game TV.
Game TV.
We want to. It's more like bringing boxing to the doorsteps of the people. Kitasi, the mountains are having their Ojura festival. Until we are doing it on Ojura festival for Kitasi. Until it's open to the youth so that they can come, they can get close to boxing. When they are closer to boxing, that is what makes it easy for them to be able to develop the passion and love for the sport.
Sure. But your date in Bium?
8th of November.
And are you free to the general public?
It's free.
Kitasi for a festival.
Yeah.
Until the boss part but there's a boxing component.
Yeah. And we are also seeking for support from the government.
Okay.
And from any philanthropist or any corporate body that, because it's Joseph Agbeko Foundation, we don't have money.
Sure.
Game TV doesn't have money, but we are doing our best to make sure we are able to give back to the youth. Anyone out there that they can also support us, even with one pure water.
But supporting so how should they contact you?
Support Niba, they can contact RPFM.
Absolutely. Yeah. From a key members of the team in T. more beer the Joseph Agbeko Foundation. You can bring it to us. You know, water, food, money. Bibi ambacho to me afre me line no on 0200496765 0200496765. But on behalf of him, no, to me because don't forget obesi a year ring ni bi ya be fafia kra na dia call security, medical, ambulance be or bibia of course box say be also transport you also no koda hotel and it's very very expensive into betimi ababa boama your legend here or my so much joy
prices anima the boxes because on the night we want to award 2 boxes.
Wow.
One has to be the most skillful boxer.
Wow.
We don't want skill to go out of the sport.
Of the sport.
America, they will say skills pays the bill.
Yeah.
You know, until you say that should challenge the boys so that they always increase their
skill level.
Skill. So your the most skillful boxer and the overall best boxer.
Fantastic.
And at these 2 boxes, we will be giving them prize and also a free pocket.
Until we have to say, oh boy, be an obetimi abwa. Can go with him.